Same city, same economy, same headlines. By the end of the year, one of them is noticeably richer. The other is just trying to keep up. Neither started a company, neither invented anything, neither worked twice as hard. The difference wasn't talent, it was position. Because in modern economies, there's a quiet system that decides who gets rich first, and most people don't even realize it exists. Right now, you can feel something is off. Stocks hit record highs, housing feels impossible, corporate profits surge, yet wages move slowly, savings lose purchasing power. Every year feels more expensive than the last. We're told it's inflation, or supply chains, or productivity, but underneath those explanations is a deeper mechanism. It starts with money creation. When new money enters the economy, it does not fall from the sky evenly across all bank accounts. It doesn't land in your checking account overnight. It doesn't arrive as a polite deposit labeled national growth. It enters through specific doors. In the United States, that door is the Federal Reserve. When the Federal Reserve expands the money supply, especially during crises, it buys assets, primarily government bonds and sometimes mortgage-backed securities. It does this from large financial institutions. In simple terms, the Fed creates digital money and uses it to purchase financial assets from banks and institutions. Those institutions now hold fresh liquidity. That liquidity doesn't sit still. It moves. Banks lend more, hedge funds leverage more, corporations refinance debt at lower rates. Investors deploy capital into stocks, private equity, real estate. Asset prices start rising. But here's the key. This happens before consumer prices rise, before wages adjust, before everyday households feel any change. Money doesn't spread evenly. It ripples outward. This dynamic has a name, the Cantillon Effect, named after an 18th century economist who noticed something simple but powerful. The first recipients of new money benefit the most because they get to spend it before prices adjust. Imagine you're first in line when fresh money appears. You can buy assets at yesterday's prices. By the time that money circulates through the broader economy, prices have already risen. Those at the end of the line pay more. This is not a conspiracy, it's plumbing. Let's walk through it step by step. Step 1. Liquidity injection. After the 2008 financial crisis, the Federal Reserve expanded its balance sheet from under $1 trillion to over $4 trillion in just a few years. After 2020, it exploded again, crossing $8 trillion at its peak. That's not small change. That's trillions in newly created dollars entering the financial system. Step 2. Asset response. Where did that money go first? Into financial markets. From 2009 to 2021, the S&P 500 increased more than six-fold from its crisis low. Home prices surged across major cities. Private equity valuations climbed. Venture capital funding exploded. Cheap money made risk-taking easier. When borrowing costs drop near zero, assets become more attractive. Leverage becomes safer, at least on paper. Step 3. Delayed consumer impact. Consumer prices didn't immediately spike after 2008. For years, inflation looked modest. Many people assumed money creation wasn't doing much, but asset inflation was happening the entire time. If you owned stocks or property, your balance sheet expanded. If you didn't, life mostly felt the same, until it didn't. When inflation finally surged after 2020, consumer prices adjusted quickly. Groceries, rent, fuel, insurance. By then, asset owners had already experienced years of gains. This is the quiet transfer, not through taxation, not through legislation, through sequence. The sequence of who touches new money first. Let's make it personal. Imagine two neighbors. One owns a home and invests in index funds. The other rents and keeps savings in cash. The central bank lowers interest rates and expands liquidity. Mortgage rates drop. Asset prices rise. The homeowner sees equity grow. The investor sees portfolio gains. The renter sees rising rent. The saver sees purchasing power erode. They both participated in the same economy, but one was positioned near appreciating assets. The other was positioned near cash. And cash is last in line. This is why wealth inequality often